Here we are.
There you go.
Here we are. So let's make sure we're going live. I'm going to follow it here. Please, you guys tell me if you can't hear me or not. So there's a little bit of delay. So this happens all the time. You can if you want. But I have mine right here. So we're going to see if we're going live. Oh, we are live. Look at that. I love it. Let's make sure we can hear me. Can you guys hear me? You remember? I do too. We're a little delayed, you guys. So you can hear me? Okay, perfect. Yay.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, you can hear us. Now, remember, a couple of things you got to remember, you guys, when you are watching us on Facebook or YouTube, there is a 10-second delay on everything that you see and hear. Also, we are streaming on multiple pages. So if you are commenting on something, Steve will be running through his, can you run through Time Warp so you can see the Time Warp comments? I will run through my profile page and see if I see any. Keep your volume down though. So that way, if we see your comments and we will answer them. If we cannot see your comments, then I will answer them afterwards, unfortunately, but I will toggle back and forth. So let me do some introductions here. You all know Steve, co-owner of Time Warp Vintage.
Hi, everyone.
My husband, and also co-owner of TWL. Here we have Harvey. Say your last name.
Olshansky.
Olshansky. A lot of you who follow us know Harvey, because Harvey is the guy to go to when you're dealing with gold and silver and any precious metals. This guy knows everything. And so that is why I was so excited to have him come on and answer some questions, explain some things about selling your gold, maybe debunk some myths, maybe stuff like that. So keep giving me thumbs up, you guys, if you guys can hear me and everything. Make sure you guys can hear me. So Sierra, thanks for joining. It's that time of year where we, first of all, thank you for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure, absolutely.
And make sure that all of you guys can hear okay. So I'm going to do this, and Sierra, thanks for joining. It's that time of year where I'm going to make sure I can hear you pretty good. Yep, I can hear you. Okay. So ask away. If you have questions for Harvey as we go through, please ask, and I will try and find them. And I'm on Time Warp. Are you on Time Warp, Steve?
I assume so.
Okay. Then I'm going to go on mine.
Well, here, I want.
No. I will in a minute. Here. So anyways, Harvey, must be a busy time of year for you.
Oh, my goodness. You have absolutely no idea.
I can imagine. So Harvey is the owner of Babylon Antiques. Mm-hmm. You are a licensed gold or precious metal buyer, yes. Right? So I have a couple of things up that I'm going to go through as well that I'll split on the screen for you guys. But do you find it? Do you get heavier clientele during tax season?
No, not necessarily. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
because when we do retail sales,
yeah,
and people get their tax returns,
right,
our sales usually go up.
What about buying
gold? They have no, buying gold is really more in relationship to what the market is doing at that particular time.
More so than somebody needs money and will come to sell gold.
The tax season. Well, it's possible if they owe taxes. Right. Okay, obviously they might sell it. Okay,
we do that.
But sales.
Mm-hmm.
Actually go up, and people need money at any time if they have gold or silver.
If they have gold or silver,
they will sell it.
So,
obviously.
Where are you located?
The Royal Oak Farmers Market in Royal Oak, Michigan. We're in the very center of the building. I've been doing this at the market, and I'm a retired pawnbroker. I've been doing this for I think it's 45 years.
So you've got a lot of experience here. So ask away, you guys, and we're going to be following to make sure that we try and catch all of your answers or your questions. I bet you have a ton of stories on top of your standard.
You just can't imagine. One of the things I think the public needs to know, mm-hmm. with the stock market going up and down and all this craziness in the overall marketplace, in history, gold has never virtually been this high. 3,000. I think the other day it was at 3,100 $60
An ounce.
per ounce.
Per
for,
ounce.
For 1
Mhm.
ounce of pure 999
Mhm.
gold. It has never, ever been that high. Okay. More than likely, it's going to go up
Oh yeah.
just because of pressures on all the
Mhm.
marketplaces. People basically don't know where to put their money so it stays kind of safe.
Right.
And that's one reason why gold is going up. Plus, all the major banks, okay,
Mhm.
both in Europe and in China especially, have been buying gold really heavier than they ever have in history within the last year. And that's just brought everything right up. It's both good and bad.
It's both good and bad. That makes sense. So, they could come in. Do they need to make an appointment for you if they wanted to sell stuff? If you want to buy stuff, go every weekend. He's there every Sunday, right?
Correct.
And he's got stuff there that will blow your mind.
Yeah. If you're going to sell to us, I would actually prefer an appointment.
An
We have
appointment.
to make sure that we have the funds for you.
Very good.
Okay.
Well, that's true.
And
And you can't just leave in the middle of the day to go to the.
no,
Yeah.
no. But one of the things we can do, it's very easy to set up an appointment. You'll have my phone number.
Yeah, it'll all be in
and,
here.
and we'll set something up online so you can just call us. Okay?
Right.
And virtually, you can be anywhere in the world, which is really kind of strange. If you call us, we can just send you a link directly to your phone.
Oh,
And
perfect.
on your phone, you just hit a little button,
Uh-huh.
and because you can do facing front or facing back,
And take a picture of the item.
No. This is live.
Oh, the live.
No, you
So
could
it's
do
almost
it-
like a FaceTime live.
Yeah, absolutely. You can
Okay.
do live on your phone sitting at
Okay.
your kitchen table on Sunday,
Mhm.
showing me, this happens to be a pocket watch, but showing me whatever you think you might want to sell.
Oh, okay. So you could do it live. And so tell them what number to call real quick, and then I'll
Oh.
add it on.
You put it on there.
I haven't put it on yet. I'll be
Oh.
putting it on at the
I
end for
gave
you
you a
guys.
secondary number so we can track it.
Oh,
So
okay,
there's-
perfect.
There's your second number.
Okay, perfect. So I will be putting up the phone number and everything right after this so that you can arrange appointments and show him what you have.
Yes.
I've got both numbers.
Yeah, you got it.
And I'll put them on.
247-800. That number is 247-800-9330.
248.
247.
Oh, I'm sorry. 247
800-9330.
9. You got it. I can't remember that much. The 80s were good to me. So let's get into the her. Oh, here we go. Nope. Okay. Just more people coming on. So I have some questions for you. So first of all, I did some research on gold, and I know you brought some stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
So let's say somebody is going to, first of all, let's start with how people find gold. So I know that Steve can sometimes find it while he's out and about. So what are some of the tools that some people should have if they're looking to find gold or scrap?
If they want to scrap gold, I go to resale shops,
Mm-hmm.
garage sales.
Mhm.
Yep.
Estate
Estate
sales.
sales are wonderful.
Flea markets, you can even find stuff in those.
Absolutely. Virtually, if you find a group or a bag of
Mhm.
jewelry,
Right.
okay, just a big bag,
Mhm.
and they don't know where it comes from, the odds are there will be something in there.
Even if it's just a single
Right.
earring.
So-
Absolutely. Absolutely.
One of the things I think it's important to have on you at all times is a jeweler's loop, right?
That helps.
It does help.
But a jeweler's loop kind of makes you look a little bit more professional.
Right.
Okay.
A lot of people use them for paintings to look at the signatures and
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah.
But
I would get online and buy a nice big
like,
10 power magnifying glass
yes,
with a handle.
that would be perfect to do while if you're going to go out and look professionally. We do carry the smaller ones here. So you can always pick them up here too, just to find marks on them, because
You want to
not.
tell them how to use it?
Oh, sure.
Okay, so here, I'm just gonna
You've got
use-
yours,
I'm
right?
just going to use mine. Absolutely the easiest way to do
Mhm.
this, okay, is you want to keep both eyes open.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Hold the loop by, usually there's something you can hold it with.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, they're open like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So-
that's how these are.
So I'm going to use the box as an
Mhm.
example. So let's say we want to just read the small print here.
Right.
Put your hands together,
Yep.
okay?
Oh.
Bring it up to your eye real slowly, and then you see I'm moving it back and forth. You're going to focus.
Bring the piece back and
Bring the
forth.
piece to you so it focuses, and you can see my hand is actually on my cheek. Okay?
Right.
I'm also keeping my other eye open,
Mhm.
so I'm not straining my other eye. But the key is everything shakes together, and that's why your hands are together.
Oh, that's a good idea. I
Okay,
never
so,
thought of
so
that.
yeah, because some people, they shake a little bit. So put your hands together, bring
It'll
it,
stabilize your
bring
wrist.
this part of your hand up to your cheek.
Right.
Just lay it on your cheek, right
And you're
in front,
stabilizing
right
everything.
in front of your eye, and
That's
then
true.
you can bring it in and out. It makes it much
Mhm.
easier.
So that's a great thing.
That's
So,
a-
you know, and I never
that's a-
thought of
that's
that
a great
before.
trick, yeah.
Because I know your hands do shake, especially when you're trying to do something that is so like look at something small or concentrate.
Correct.
So by doing that, by putting them together and bringing them up, that's going to keep your hands from shaking. I think that's a great idea.
Yes, it is. I see people all the time trying to figure out how to use those loops.
Yeah,
Yes.
And they give up.
They're difficult. Yeah.
That's for any type of loop, right?
Any type
Yeah.
of loop.
Any type of
They'll
loop.
work
So rather
for anything.
you go and you buy a really cool one that with a handle and stuff, or one of these, or one of the single ones. You have a single one here, I saw it, or a single one like so.
Yeah.
By putting your hands together for the stability.
Yes, yeah. It just keeps it all together.
Because I know that there's a lot of people who go out and hit garage sales and they're hoping to find, the gold and stuff like that.
You have no idea.
Oh, I'm
All the
sure.
time it's out there.
They make mistakes.
Chains in a jewelry box are 50 cents in a buck, and they're
every single
gold.
day.
Every single day. I know.
Every single day.
I find a lot of them.
We were down in the basement when we lived in Tennyson several 100 years ago, it seems. And we had the drawers of all these chains. They were just costume
There were
chains
chains I'd already
and
gone
stuff.
through.
And he'd already gone through them. And I was pulling them out to actually do something with them. And I noticed 18K on something. And I'm like, Steve, and I was pulling it out and it just kept pulling. It just kept pulling and pulling. It was like that long. It was crazy. But what did you end up getting from that one?
Cheap. Gold is a lot cheaper.
It was a lot cheaper, but I mean that happens. So go back through your jewelry. You might be surprised what you miss, right?
Just to give you a real live example, I
Mm-hmm.
had a customer who came in 2 weeks ago. They sold me some turquoise.
Mhm.
Okay. And then the other lady, her sister was there. She hands me a bag
Mhm.
with a little pocket watch in there, like something like this, and a couple of little
Right.
things. And she said, "Well, this I'm sure doesn't have any value."
Mm-hmm.
So I look at it and I test all her other stuff, and I walk over. And I said, "Yeah, it didn't have any value, but the interesting thing is the pocket watch was 14 karat gold." Okay, and she thought it had no value,
Right.
and I handed her like $390, and she was just thrilled.
Oh, Instagram just fell away.
Okay.
Okay. A ghost just pushed Instagram. Well, I put that on there because it leans forward a little bit.
So that lady was thrilled.
It's got the cut that holds it. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Yeah, she was absolutely
Turn it a
thrilled.
little bit. Okay, I'm going to be getting up to do this. Sorry about that, you guys. Nothing like being live, right? I got it, Steve. It's good.
Um,
Sorry.
And also this past weekend, I had another dealer who does estate sales.
Right.
And they hand me 2 bags. One was silver, so I go through the silver. He's got another bag. And out of there, there's a gold ring.
Mhm.
Well, I loop it. And I go, it's 18 karat. I said, did you miss this or did you not see it? Make a long story short, he got $1,000.
$1,000, you guys.
Okay.
Can
$1,000.
you
That's a
turn it this way
lot
a little
of
bit?
money. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot
Just
of
a
money.
little.
And most of the value was
Thank
just
you.
in the one
Well,
ring.
now you're going to be cut out.
Most of the value was just in the one ring.
In the one ring.
And this happens seriously, consistently, every single week.
See, it happens, you guys.
I mean, all the time. And I'm not talking small amounts of money. I mean,
No.
I think $300 to $400 is a lot.
I think it is too.
Oh, then their sister comes back the next weekend and hands me another bag. Okay, by that point we're friends.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and I go through the second bag, and she's got gold rings in there, and I hand her $1,000.
So you're handing out $1,000 to these family
Like
members.
Oprah. You get $1,000.
I know, it's
You
like
get
Oprah, right?
$1,000.
It's
You get
hilarious.
$1,000.
Well, I never
Instagram will
thought of
move
that
you over a
way.
little bit. So you can see it too. On the pocket watch, you made a mention, and there's something that I know on wrist watches, that the marking of the metal is usually on the inside of the back. right? Not on the outside. Is that true?
So
Are pocket watches the same
for the most part.
for the most part?
Out of all the mistakes I've made in the last 40 years have
Mhm.
been pocket watches and bangle bracelets.
Oh, really?
Okay. So pocket watches are really very interesting. You have to be incredibly careful. If you can get the backs open, you do it carefully. Okay. You would like to be able to see like 10 karat assay
Okay.
or 14 karat assay.
ASAY? Assay?
ASS EY, I think.
ASSEY. Okay.
Or AY.
All right.
One or the other.
But
But a lot of other times it will say 14 karat something else, and it's normally plated.
Plated.
Warranty.
And
It says
yeah,
warranted a
yes,
lot.
that
That's
also,
usually indicative of
absolutely. And that, so there's a huge indication. You can make big mistakes with pocket watches.
Yeah, because if they're filled, you mean like filled? and
Yes,
stuff.
gold filled.
Okay. So if they're filled, the value is much less
Correct.
when it comes to the gold.
And also,
But it's not worthless.
No, absolutely
Let's
not.
make sure you know it's not that.
and also a lot of times everybody who has a family pocket watch thinks that it's gold. Not all pocket watches were high quality. Not all pocket watches are gold. I've seen old movies where they have displays of pocket watches in a cardboard stand next to the cash register, and they're $1.50 a piece. Those are not gold pocket watches, and they're not going to be gold today either.
Well, it was a big status symbol.
Yeah.
When people
Oh,
used
yeah.
to, when people used to carry pocket watches.
And I know that we have clientele that come in here that dress like in the 1950s and earlier, because pocket watches would have been dated back to the late 1800s, and
Yes.
the wearing of them,
Mhm.
and they wear them, and they still consider it a status
do.
symbol.
Yeah, it's got
So-
a great history.
One of the things that you want to remember is that watches 90% of the time, is that fair to say?
I would say sometimes they're marked on the inside, possibly.
On
So
the
if you-
inside,
you
so-
be a little careful getting the back off,
Correct.
and you should have a professional or somebody who knows how to do it to get the movement out, so you don't destroy the movement. So it might be marked on the inside, but a lot of times it is also marked on the top.
the top.
Right.
Oh, on the top.
I mean, on the back, on the top. I don't have a pocket watch
No.
here to show you.
Like up here.
But along where the band comes to the top of the watch, where there's round or square, normally on one of the top corners.
On one of the top corners.
Right.
May I?
Yes.
Okay. So you're talking about like towards the top.
Well,
On the
here,
top
so,
edge.
so let's say this was a square watch,
Okay.
and the band is up here.
Yeah.
It might be marked up here
Okay. Thank you.
towards the band, or towards here on the back.
Okay. But if it isn't, before you throw it and say, "Oh, this is nothing,"
Correct.
check the inside.
Now, so I'm going to make one statement.
Mhm.
This is very important. If
Okay.
you've got jewelry sitting around at home, you must look at every single item.
Instead of just throwing all the gold-looking color into one.
Absolutely. Every single item. It could be white gold, it could
Right.
be yellow gold, it could even be platinum.
It could be platinum,
Right.
and all white gold and yellow gold, and they're the same gold, just different colors.
Yes.
Different
Different alloys.
alloys, creating the different colors,
Mhm.
most likely.
Absolutely.
And then platinum, of course, is the thing of itself,
Right.
and just like palladium and all of those.
Mm.
I do have, and I'll show you, and I'll jump down here to this. These are different jewelry marks that you see on here. So we've got carat, hallmark, and percent of gold.
What I'll do
These are
if
European marks.
yeah, it can be
Mhm.
very, very difficult. What I'll do is I'll supply you with a complete list
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
and I
they-
can post it. Yeah.
that we'll go from 8 karat European all the way
Mhm.
to 24 karat, and then there are hallmarks. That's a little bit more difficult,
It
but we'll
can
give
be.
you some links so you can
Oh,
look
perfect.
some stuff up.
Yeah, because I thought about you guys. I thought about putting silver marks up here, but there's probably 50 million of those.
Correct.
And so I could put up 100 of them, and you find marks that aren't even on those. So, because it just seemed like every single person did a different mark.
One of the most important things that people have to realize is that here in America, we market 10K, 14K, 12K, 18K. In Europe, they use numerical marks. So like 750 is a gold mark for 18 karat there. 585 is the 14 karat mark.
Correct.
I've talked to people before who showed me things and like, This is 750. What's that? Lesser silver than 925,
Right?
or sterling? And it's like, no, that is a gold mark. It's different there, and that throws a lot of people off. And a lot of the stuff I find at garage sales for $1.50 is things with numerical codes or carats that people don't realize, and it's just one of those things.
Right.
The other thing I wanted to say too about the pocket watches is Harvey said be very careful in opening them up and looking. A lot of times pocket watches, the back, if you do it kind of like this, you put your thumbs on the back and you twist, it'll twist right off. Don't try to pry the back of a pocket watch off. Most of the time they don't open that way. They spin off.
Either it will screw off,
You're threaded.
okay, right?
Threaded.
They're threaded, or they'll pop off. So if you've got one that's got a screw back, if it is, okay, put your hands together,
Oh yeah.
apply a little bit of pressure.
Yep.
And then just give it a twist. And if it's loose,
Yeah.
hopefully it will come off.
Yeah.
What you don't want to do is put something sharp in there because you could chip the sides.
yes.
No.
You know what I mean? And you're talking about something that could be worth a ton of money. You never know.
You got to remember, there's not just scrap value on these things. There's also
Mhm.
intrinsic value in the maker. A lot of things.
What else did you bring for us?
Well, one of the things I wanted to
Yeah.
mention when you were talking about the gold numbers. So the lower the number, the lesser the pure gold.
Oh, I
So
have that, yes.
you might start at 8 carat, which would be 8 carat or a
That's the wrong
333.
Lovely.
The one he had, he had a 6 carat on it.
That
Oh,
one.
you won't see much.
No,
6
I've never.
carat. No.
So how correct is this? 18 karat gold, 75% gold,
Right.
25% other metals.
Yes,
14 karat gold, we've got 58.3% gold.
correct.
And then 10 karat is 41.7.
417. 9 carat is
375.
375. You'll also get some other oddballs. You'll get some 12 carat occasionally. You'll get dental gold, which is yellow,
Uh-huh.
old, funny-looking teeth. And actually
Add
has
some.
really good value.
Oh, yeah. Because it's
Um,
older gold,
Uh,
most likely, right?
well, usually, but only the yellow dental crowns.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and
You're
then you
black-
go
I'm
up in
cutting
numbers
my
to
face off,
18
so-
and 21,
I'm doing this.
and
Oh, no, that cuts everybody off.
and we'll give you some other stuff that, because there's some other
There we are, down on the bottom.
hallmarks that you need
Right.
to know. Some of the hallmarks are pictures, dates, and who actually manufactured the piece. And that's a whole nother universe in
It
identification.
is. And the reason, that's funny that you say that, because one of the things I found is that bullion, talking about gold bullion, that sometimes, I don't know what that is, that gold bullion is sometimes worth more than its face value due to the fact that if it's collectors who collect bullion,
Correct.
well, it will depend on the denomination, it will depend on the serial number,
Yep,
the
absolutely.
when it was made,
Yes.
stuff like that, which I did not know there were people that collect bullion, which makes sense to me,
Yeah,
I guess.
there's a company called Engelhart that's no longer in business.
Uh-huh.
Very collectible. Now, you're not going to get a huge premium,
Right.
but let's say you had a 1 ouncer, you might, instead of, because silver's at about $30 an ounce for pure
Mhm.
today, you could possibly get double or maybe triple, depending upon the number on the bar. And those are usually were hand poured bars.
Right.
They're not the nice, really cute little crispy.
Right. It's like the
poured
one,
by
the
hand.
ingot that I have up here, the one where it's
The one you,
the one
showed
you
in
made.
bars.
Well, that was
It's
just
that's a small one.
no. That's not pure.
No, it's
That's
not.
where we take a mix of all the metals. We create the bar,
Mhm.
okay, and then we take it and we drill some holes into it.
Mhm.
We put it into a large machine, well, a reasonably large machine, which is an X-ray machine, and you place it on the tray. And the machines are like probably $100,000 today.
That's what he's talking about. You
Yeah,
guys.
so take that, okay,
Mhm.
and then it X-rays it, and
Oh, yeah.
and it will put like 2 holes here, 1 hole on the top,
Mhm.
flip it over, average it out, and it will tell us exactly what's in there.
Like the gold amount.
Gold, silver,
Oh, like all the alloys.
all the alloys. We'll
All
give
the
you
alloys.
alloys.
Okay, so
And
it'll be
that's the
alloy
one we
breakdown.
had of jewelry that we had.
Well, I'm going to tell
down
you
to
because
10,
I
18,
have it here. This is what. Oh, I love it when it moves. Okay, so this is here. This is what you did with some of ours, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And is this that bar?
Yes, that's
Okay.
that bar.
So what you guys see here, this is what we gave him. We gave him this amount of, and those of you on Instagram, because Instagram does not play nicely, you guys will have to jump over and see. But I will put up clips so that you will see this as well. But here we have a scale full of gold, different amounts.
Yeah, 10 karat, 14 karat,
10
18
karat,
karat.
yeah.
So,
Which means it has other alloys in them.
absolutely. So you
Yeah.
melt it all up.
Right.
And then you just want to know, because it gets mixed really good in the pot. And then when the X-ray hits it, it'll tell you it's 12 karat, 13 and a half karat, 14 karat, whatever the overall average was. And that's what happened with that.
Okay, so it's an average. If you guys remember math, it's all done via average. So if you took, 5 people who were 40 years old each, and you averaged them out, or 40, 30, 20, and then you divided them by how much,
Absolutely.
that's your average. So that's that
that-
picture.
But
That's
there's
what it
some
is.
things in there that could have been marked 14 or 18 that were actually 13,
Yes,
or
absolutely.
12 or
Absolutely.
15. I don't think there's anybody looking over the shoulder of the jeweler when they actually stamp
It's
these things.
not
So
always,
some of them,
not always perfect.
but the point too is that is the bar that was melted down from the jewelry we just had. And that
Mhm.
jewelry in that bar was the equivalent of about $8,000.
It's a lot of money, you guys.
That's what we got for that jewelry.
Yeah, that's what the IRS gets for that jewelry. So, so let me ask you,
Yeah.
because something popped in my head when you said that. Because gold filled and different types of gold, electrolyte, whatever, has gold in it and
Absolutely.
other alloys.
Right.
When it is in that dish and you go to melt it down, that just brings down your gold value, doesn't it?
Brings down your carat.
Your carat value.
Well, so it's marked so you'll get stuff that's just plain gold filled.
Right.
It's a real low percentage.
Right.
Okay. You'll get other stuff that will be marked 1/10 of 10 karat, 1/20th of
I've seen it. Yeah.
20 karat, 1/30th of 10 karat, 12 karat, and 14 karat.
Right.
It's actually equivalent to the value of silver.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And when we actually do the assay, those percentages of pure gold content in that whole bar will range at about 1% is really low, 3% is good, 6% is excellent. If
Right.
you get just like a little baggie,
Uh-huh.
like a sandwich bag of gold filled, and we melt it up, it's hundreds of dollars.
Oh, absolutely. It's like
Yeah.
silver on that aspect.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if I gave you all of this and it was all 14, 18, 16, or however gold, but there was maybe 10 strands in there that I thought were gold that weren't, when you melt them down, instead of doing all gold filled, you mix that in with your actual carat gold.
Well,
Will it reduce the carat?
a little bit.
A little
the
bit,
bottom
okay.
line is when you get that final bar,
Pay attention to what you're looking at.
you get the final bar, it's
Right.
going to tell you this is how much average gold is in this
Throughout the
whole
bar.
bar, and that's how you get paid.
And that's how you get paid.
Right.
So-
So gold filled is less, but it has great value.
Oh, it does. Absolutely.
Okay? In 1979, when I first got into the business, we were going to like Value Village, and I would buy all the gold glass frames. Okay, gold filled frames.
Yeah.
Okay, and the bottom line, I would buy bags for $20, $30. We'd send it to the refinery. We get $1,000, and that was when gold was at 800, not at $3,000.
You know, it's funny because we actually have a couple clients who come in and look for gold filled
absolutely.
and only gold filled.
Yes,
Probably because they know they're not going to find
that is
You know,
that
as
is
much.
absolutely hidden.
The thing with gold filled too is that it's somewhat expensive to extract the gold from gold filled jewelry. So it's only really feasible and economical to do when gold is a certain price, correct? If gold is really down low, it may not be advantageous.
You're looking back. I've been doing this 45 years. It went from $35 when there was the gold standard to 800.
Yeah.
That's a huge jump. So when it was at 800, and we could take a bag we found in general wherever, and we melted it down and got $1,000 for it. Well, gold's at $3,000 today.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what you would get for gold filled today?
Yeah.
The
I
numbers.
just
can
thought there
really
was a
be
certain point where it wasn't worth bothering with gold filled.
No.
We're beyond that. And
There's
we're
never a
probably gonna
stop.
get below
No,
that.
I don't think the public ever knows that, and that's I have people who go to the garage sales and estate sales, and they pull out gold fill
Oh,
and
yeah.
they pull out silver, and when they get a bag, they give it to me, And I'm telling you, these are not small numbers.
No.
Okay, they might get $100 or $500 or $1,000 for small bags. Okay, it really does add up.
Okay.
I was going to say we should probably weigh a penny.
Oh,
tell
we
you
can get
how-
one. You want to grab a penny, Steve?
Let's weigh 1 penny, and I'm going to just
And bring your scale, Steve.
so people have some idea of what
While we're
1
waiting
penny's
for
for
that.
worth
Mine
of
here.
stuff weighs.
Do you have your scale?
Yeah. Did I put it over there, Steve? I think. Oh no, I put it over there it's right behind you.
Oh, wait, I guess we
So-
in my brown bag. Yes.
I was doing some research, and they
Can we
said
use
there's
this
top
one?
5 things. That'll
Use the
work,
nail
won't
file?
it? What
Yeah,
is
any
it?
scale.
Does it do ounces?
It does.
Okay.
Does it do grams? Okay.
So I Googled because I wanted to answer some questions that people gave us. How long have you been a gold buyer? They wanted to know.
Since 19. Let's see. Actually, I was in the business before that, but I actually opened up my own store in 1979.
1979. So if somebody is going in to sell gold to a broker, should one of the questions they wanted, it says that you should ask them is how long they've been a pawnbroker
Or a gold.
or a gold buyer,
Right.
not a pawnbroker, a gold
Yeah.
buyer. And then the second one was, do you have customer service reviews? Do you get asked that?
No, not really.
I mean, we can vouch for him. We've been using him for decades.
No, not
probably a
so
decade
much,
now.
but I get huge referral business.
Well, then I would think that
I
would
do
be even
not-
better.
I don't have to go out and solicit business.
No,
I
so
get
that's even better.
more phone calls a lot of times I can even handle, to be honest with you.
And these questions are what you should be asking anybody you plan on selling your precious metals to. How do you value gold? We just discussed that for the most part.
It's really is a math problem.
It's a math problem
Okay.
because gold will change by the hour, right?
Today it happened to me. I walked into the refinery, it was $3,000. They got it was an hour wait, which is usually
Right.
kind of long. It dropped $22.
In that hour wait.
Oh, in the hour wait.
Okay, so
Okay.
one thing that maybe the gold buyer shouldn't tell you exactly what you're getting because it could change from the time he gets your gold to where he takes it.
You just need to be more concerned as what are you going to get in the end?
Right.
Okay, so this is something that I think everybody should ask. Okay,
Listen up, you guys.
out of the total value of the
Uh-huh.
gold in this particular lot, what percentage are you paying? An incredibly fair question.
So out of all the gold that I'm giving you, or say it again,
Out of all the gold that I'm giving you,
Uh-huh.
whether it be 10, 14, 18,
right?
what percentage of what we call spot, which is the actual price of gold or
Right.
silver, it applies to both. What percentage of the total value are you willing to pay?
Okay. So
And I may not tell you.
they may not tell you.
Right.
A lot of them don't. That's
Right.
why I thought this would be a
And-
good show to have.
And this is just my personal opinion.
Should they tell you?
Personally, I think they should tell you.
Right.
If they don't tell you,
Mhm.
I think you should just scoop your
Listen
stuff. Take your stuff, scoop it up, and leave the building.
Okay. Did you hear that?
Okay.
So if you ask them the question on what is the percentage, all this gold I'm giving you,
Mhm.
what percentage am I getting
Correct.
of it? And if the establishment or person doesn't want to give that to you, then they're hiding something because
They're just,
Well, you have to look
I
at
mean,
it from the
you should
perspective.
be, this is yours.
If you have $1,000 worth of gold, and that's what it's going to be worth for scrap,
Mhm.
what are they going to give you? Are they going to give you 500, 600, 700, 800? That would be 50, 60, 70, 80%.
Right.
An honest person, to the best of my knowledge, does 10 to 20% for an honest dealer. Correct?
Well, that means they would get,
You mean
80
talking
to
about
90%.
profitability or paying?
what you would take as the buyer.
That could change.
So I'm in groups of other pawnbrokers, and we always ask each other the question, "Oh, what are you paying?"
Mhm.
Okay, and we'll get 50%, 60%, 70%. That's about as high as most of them go. Now,
70?
yes. Now the guys who really do
Mhm.
big business and do it
they may do go
effectively,
lower. Yeah.
no, they'll go higher.
Oh, they'll go higher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
They'll take higher.
Because no,
They'll give
no.
higher.
We're gonna give you more
Correct.
money. Okay.
Yeah.
So I would suggest overall 75% should be absolute minimum
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, when we're working,
Yeah.
okay, if it's scrap, I'm with about 80%.
Mhm.
Okay. And depending upon what it is, I'll go up to 100% or more. Because if it's something that's resellable, I can put it out and hopefully
Well,
make
I
some
get
more
that.
value.
You're not
pay
scrapping
more
it
than
at that
scrap
rate.
for it.
Right.
Because it's got artistic or artist
Mhm.
value because of what it is.
And I think that's a fair thing. And I say that as somebody who runs a vintage and antique store, and we did estate sales forever. And normally estate sales, if you're gonna, this is your product, right? It's the same theory. Whether it's an estate sale and you're running it for somebody, or it's you're selling gold, the person who is doing it, who is taking your gold to the refinery, to the refinery, who is doing all of that process, who has the knowledge and has learned all of that, just like your estate sale company who is putting it all together, they deserve a percentage.
Yeah.
And I think that because estate sales, I mean, they will pull 50%, 50, some even more, I've heard lately. But we used to pull anywhere from 30 to 40%. So I think 25% minimum, I think, is great.
You talk about profitability.
Yeah, for the person who's giving it to
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
So if you're getting
50% is ridiculous.
Oh, it is. If you're getting 25%, if you're getting 75 to 85% of what you're having somebody else do for you,
Mhm.
I think you're winning at that.
Well, the key is people just have to understand if you have $1,000 worth of gold, you're not going to get $1,000 from the person that's going to
No.
buy it. You're going to get 75 to 80%, which would be 750 to 800. Would be
Maybe.
fair. Any less, if they're going to offer you 50% or
Maybe.
60%,
That is why
that's less. And that's why you need to know what they're giving you, and you need to know you're dealing with someone you can trust.
I'm going to give you this is a perfect example. I was
Yeah.
talking to another pawnbroker not lately. Okay, I mean lately, and it was like Sunday. I had paid a customer who came in $38 a gram.
Mhm.
Okay, when it sold, probably the next day, I probably got $45 a gram. So I was working really pretty close. I asked him that day, Monday, what do you pay in the public? And he said, $15 a gram. And I said, are you kidding me? I said, why would anybody ever come back to you?
No kidding. I mean,
Okay.
at that point, you almost feel ripped off.
No, you are getting ripped off.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Unless you're selling them hot shit.
Well,
They
that's
don't care.
completely different. And watch your language.
But either way, that comparison, and I go, shame on you guys. I go, that's unrealistic.
It is
Your business
unrealistic.
will not grow
Greed.
if you do. If you get, even when you're going out and you're looking for stuff at the garage sales and blah, if you get the greed virus in this business, okay, it'll totally kill you.
Yes.
Okay, just stay consistent. Okay,
Exactly.
Work with good people.
Yep.
If you don't know the math, you can look up the math. You can look up the math
On your
phone.
calculator on your phone.
Okay.
There's sites you can go to that will calculate yours.
Yes.
You can ask lots of places.
Yeah.
Tell me what 80% of the pure gold value would be for 14 karat today if gold's at $3,000.
Right.
And we'll do the math for you.
Yep.
So you want to get treated fairly. You just want to get treated fairly.
Remember, this is, and I say this over and over again because this happens to us. People come in and they're like, oh, I want to sell this to you. And, I see that it's going for $50. Okay, well, we offer them half or a little bit less. Well, why? Why don't you give me the 50? Well, we have overhead. And they're telling us, well, that's not my problem. Well, it is, because if you want to sell it to an establishment or have somebody do some work for you, you need to give them a percentage of it because that's how they make their, that's how they eat.
Well, I think
For the most part.
I think long term.
Ounce per gram.
Okay.
Okay. What else did you have to say?
Another thing, if you're out there buying and you're looking and you're not sure what it is, and I just had it.
What are you looking for?
Yeah.
There's something over here.
Magnet.
Oh, magnet?
Yeah,
Oh, you just had it. Yeah.
3 grams.
Oh,
Oh, it's right here.
3 grams? Oh my God. Because I haven't done.
Well, no
this
wonder
in a
they're
while.
losing money on pennies. Copper.
No, that's not it.
Oh.
I want to give somebody an example of. So this would be 100% of the gold value
Mhm.
at gold being $3,000 today. So I keep telling you, this really has great value. How much do you think, if that was 14 karat, how much
penny.
value that would have? The 1 penny
How-
today
Today?
At
Oh, I don't even know.
at
See,
3,000 gold.
3 grams.
Yeah,
Well, you
but
just weighed
you
it.
sold more.
I-
you
so-
gotta
I-
stop
I-
giving the.
No.
Well,
So
Oh,
3 grams.
well, he was gonna put it on
Weight,
here.
not
Yeah.
the-
okay, so think to yourself, what would that be worth if it was 14 karat gold?
Mhm.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Here's the answer: $168. $168 and change.
So
And then-
$169 for the most
And that's
part,
just the weight of the penny for 14 karat.
which equals up to.
He said it was 3 grams.
When you're
It's 3 grams.
Yeah.
basing it on holding the scale.
Well,
It
it's
says
going to be
3.
close.
It says 3.
No, I
okay.
know. but
3 grams.
That's
So-
be
This little bit.
yes.
So that means any little ring
Look at
with a
this.
stone in it, for the most
Yeah,
part, would
just a
be
penny.
the equivalent.
Isn't that crazy?
Okay.
And a scale like this is good. Make sure that if you are weighing your gold, that you have a scale that weighs in grams and ounces.
Just grams.
Just grams for the
Grams
most
is
part.
easiest.
But you also want to know how many grams equal an ounce.
Okay, so it's called I can't think what it's called. But gold
Okay.
grams are different than regular grams.
Yeah,
There's
there's
31.103 grams to 1 ounce of pure gold.
The product I used to sell in college was 28 grams.
That's different. It's a little different.
yeah, it says that 28.8 degrees Celsius boiling
I still
point,
thought it was 28 grams.
31.103 grams in a troy ounce.
In a troy ounce.
In a troy
Absolutely
ounce.
correct. So it's 2 different weights.
So, and then it says, did you know? Okay, so we do did you know sometimes, like, did you know? Did you know that 49% of all gold is made for jewelry?
I didn't know that.
49%. One thing about that too is this is something I did not know is that let me find it here. Here. Humans' body temps are 37 degrees centigrade.
Centigrade. Yeah.
The human body is 37 degrees centigrade.
Okay.
Gold conducts at 37 degrees centigrade.
Really?
That is why it was used for jewelry so often, because it automatically warmed to your body.
That's a new one on me after a lot of years.
Yeah, that's what it says. Humans' body temps are 37 degrees centigrade. Gold conductivity starts at 0.37 centigrade,
Makes sense.
which mirrors your body, so it warms to the body much.
Makes sense.
So that's why it was comfortable to wear.
Plus it's beautiful.
And it's beautiful. And 49% of all gold in the world is made into jewelry. I love these did you knows. So go on. What else did you have to say?
One other thing, if you're out looking, you can go to Harbor Freight or just go to the hardware store, buy a magnet.
So what does a magnet do?
Okay, so if I'm not going to use my phone because that's not a good idea, but if you got a piece on the table that's highly magnetic and goes like that, probably not going to be real. Okay?
It's gold magnetic?
Gold, for the most part, is not magnetic.
It's not magnetic.
So,
Okay.
let's say you've got a long chain.
Mhm.
It's got one of the little circle clasps. There's a little piece of steel in there. So you put the magnet to the end of the little circle on the clasp, it will connect. So take the magnet and put it on the long portion of the chain on a flat surface. That should not be magnetic.
Okay.
Okay, same thing applies to silver.
Right.
Okay, now they use something called rhodium.
This is silver.
Yeah,
So it wouldn't be magnetic, right?
it should not be. So I put it on there. Okay, and I just lay that up there. Nope, shouldn't move. Now, but here's the other interesting thing. They use something called rhodium, which they will plate metal with.
It darkens a little bit. I don't think I have any.
Well, silver will get dark. It will oxidize.
Right.
Okay. Then they rhodium plate it, and it keeps it bright.
Mhm.
But rhodium is magnetic.
Oh. And rhodium's worth a lot of money.
Rhodium's worth a lot. It's reasonably expensive to plate something. So, again, this is not scientific.
Right.
So, if you take your magnet and you put it up against silver and it does not move, good silver.
Good silver. So that is good silver, or
Yes, this is
okay.
If this is rhodium plated,
It would move.
it would move. Now, here's the interesting thing. If there's base metal in here,
Mm-hmm.
okay, when I don't know if they can see this.
They can see.
Okay,
I think.
okay.
Can you guys see?
Yeah, let's say I'm about an inch away, if that chain would move towards the magnet, okay, then there's probably base metal in there.
Ah.
If I move it closer, but not quite touching it, and it moves, then you probably have silver that's rhodium plated.
Oh.
Or poltergeist.
And you want silver that's
Sure.
rhodium plated.
Sure.
There's no such thing as full rhodium jewelry, is there?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, because rhodium is how much? What was it?
$5,000.
An ounce?
An ounce.
5,000
They
an
plated
ounce.
a lot of costume jewelry with rhodium in the 40s and 50s.
True, and
Can
they
you get that off of it?
no,
No.
but they still the plating is expensive.
Yeah.
Now here's the other problem: the Chinese
Mm-hmm.
and Thailand are plating a lot of stuff that's copper,
Mm-hmm.
that's rhodium plated, looks really good,
Mhm.
is not magnetic, and it's all fake.
And it's all fake.
And it's all marked absolutely correctly.
My.
Okay, so
Mhm.
every single day with mistakes you make, you have to test every single piece.
Well, I
And
guess-
So
and
test
it's
them all.
and it's especially true for silver.
So, but if it's stainless steel and stuff, it'll be magnetic, right?
No.
No.
That's another problem.
But you can't always count on the stamps either, because
Oh,
I had an 18 karat
absolutely
gold
not.
Rolex that wasn't 18 karat.
Well,
It
everything
wasn't a
is.
real Rolex.
Everything is.
So you just got to point out to
faked
people, make
at some
people
point.
aware that it doesn't take a lot for someone to be able to take a little stamp and tap that onto a piece and it says 14K and it's not.
I can
So-
stamp your card. Take a little stamp and boom, 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 boom.
Right.
Your whole card's 14 karat.
Yeah.
So it does not make it real.
So you can't always trust that.
No, absolutely. And then you need to know what the marks, because it could be 14 karat GP, which is gold plated.
Gold plated.
Not 14 karat G.
Right.
You want if you
Just the G.
Just the G, 14 karat G,
What would the G stand for?
gold.
Oh, they do that.
But they also
Oh,
could
okay.
put 14 karat GP, which is plate,
gold plated or
GP.
or gold
Yeah.
electroplate.
electroplate.
So
Yeah.
so we'll supply you with the information with all the corrected marks.
Oh, perfect. And then I'll post that too for you guys to
I'll
know.
make that simple for you.
Oh, cool. What else do you have? Because we have about 10 minutes before we see time goes by
Did you
fast.
really get
Yeah.
into the whole exactly what people need to do and how and look for? Did you need to-
Yeah, we talked about a lot of that. I do have a couple more things on here.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
How do you communicate the order and delivery process to a customer? What would, if somebody is going to sell gold, how should they, I guess that was one of the main things, is how the person communicates order and delivery. Like, do they take it? Do you come back for it? Do you, I know how we do it, but like, let's say they come see you
Yes.
with an appointment, and let's say they don't have the internet, right? And so they come, you make an appointment, a face-to-face appointment, and you take it. How do you communicate, or how should they expect them to say, oh, just come back tomorrow and I'll give you the money? Or
Well, sometimes people will bring in more than what I have available on a particular day, because we're only willing to bring in so much money.
well, yeah, because it's dangerous to have
Yeah,
too much.
yeah. So I would prefer that they call us direct.
Mhm.
Okay, I love to do
Oh,
stuff.
absolutely.
I love to do stuff on the phone. First of all, it's simpler for them. I can answer their questions. They don't have to. Not everybody's going to be in the Royal Oak area.
No, because we do have a big following in California
Yeah,
too.
you
So
could
they,
be you could be anywhere in the world.
Uh-huh.
And in all honesty, even if you don't speak English,
Uh-huh.
I can take two phones.
Mhm.
And you can speak to me in whatever language you speak.
Yeah, and then you can
Okay,
translate it.
and it would automatically
Right.
translate it.
And then how should they pay? Is it always cash, or should they get a check? Can they get a check? Also,
Well, if you ship stuff to us, what we would do is we put it in the office and take it out of the box. We would try and do a live presentation, a live feed to your phone
with them, yes.
or
of course.
video. Okay,
Mhm.
go through the whole process, give you, tell you exactly what we're buying, how we're buying it.
Mhm.
Then they have to decide. Now, if you're going to do that, then you're probably going to need a PayPal account,
Mhm.
and we'll just send you the money via PayPal.
Which is very good, because if you're not dealing with Harvey and you do that with somebody else, PayPal is good at.
And in that same scenario now, you're not going to open that box. You're going to get it in the mail, but you're not going to open that box until they're physically on the phone watching you open it.
Either that, or We'll do just a video when we're doing it. If
Yeah.
it's not convenient for them to do live.
Another
That's
question.
a huge reassurance for people. That's huge.
Well, I think it just makes sense. Just makes sense.
Yeah.
Another question I was asked to ask you was, when it comes to selling gold and taxes, it's a $10,000, of course, just like anything else. If you get paid, the IRS is notified at 10 grand. But I've had a lot of people say when they're, let's say it's 3,000, 5,000, do the places that they sell the gold report it as well as the people who receive it? Is it a double?
No.
Okay.
If,
It would be the
if
taxes,
you receive
whoever.
anything over, whatever you receive is income.
It is considered income.
Considered income, and it's your
Yeah.
responsibility
To pay the taxes on
pay
top
the
of it.
taxes.
So any gold you sell, you guys, is considered income for the
Yes.
most part.
Yeah.
And so forth. And I think it's now $500 income has to be, and then 10,000.
But I think what you were referring to was the whole thing about the IRS. Financial institutions have to let
At
the
10,000.
government know anytime anybody deposits
Yes.
any more than $10,000 into their accounts.
All right.
It raises a red flag and the government's notified.
Two other questions I had was, is silver worth selling and is copper worth selling?
Copper is pretty low. Silver, yes. Silver actually has really great value.
It's
Okay.
and when we were talking the other day, you said that it's gold filled would be similar.
Yes, the value of silver, whether it be 800 silver, 900 silver, sterling, or pure, okay,
Right.
has really good value. It's been bouncing between about $25 and $35 for an ounce of pure.
Right.
Okay.
What do you got here? Oh, go ahead.
Gold fill is just about the same. So any of the precious metals basically have really great value today. If this stuff is sitting in your home and you possibly need some extra money,
And you're not using it.
and you're not using it, and it's not something you're going to necessarily hand down to somebody in the family in the future,
Right.
then now is an excellent time to sell.
Perfect.
And
what do you
they're
got here?
selling lots of it. Oh
Yes.
my God.
So one thing you do have to take into consideration, you guys, when you are selling that engagement ring that maybe you broke up and you still have it, or you're doing something to that effect, maybe wedding rings that you want to melt down and make into something else or something, you got to take the stones into consideration when it comes to weight.
Well, that's because they don't weigh that much. But the biggest problem that we have today is real diamonds and lab created diamonds.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a whole nother issue.
Right.
All those values have come way down.
It's funny because the lab grown diamonds have
terrible.
killed the diamond industry.
Well, the other thing you have to keep in mind too is the silver purity. I don't know if he touched on that, but he said that pure silver is running between $25 and $35 an ounce.
Right.
When you have sterling silver, 925 means it's 92.5% pure silver.
Right.
There's still a 7.5% of other metals in there. And then in Europe, they use the 800 mark, which means it's 80% silver. So just so people know about those purities.
Tammy LaFada Shepherd, thank you for your question. For the most part, is all gold jewelry marked?
No.
So,
Okay,
Tammy, no.
here's the reason. Let's say you had a ring
Right?
that broke and you had it
Yes.
repaired.
They could have cut
They could have cut the mark out, so the mark might not be there. The only way to get around that is to actually do an acid test.
Thank you so much for saying that, because it went through my mind earlier.
And sometimes the rings just get the markets worn down on the inside.
Absolutely. Yeah. You see,
Yeah.
it's something that's 100 years old.
There's a good chance that if it's got real stones in it, that it's either going to be a high grade silver or gold.
Magnet.
Right?
Use a magnet.
Use a magnet.
Magnet, great indicator.
Yeah. So they could cut off the gold mark.
Yes, absolutely. Happens all the time.
And which kills me, because if there's usually jewelry stores that do it.
And they can cut out the maker too. They can cut out Tiffany.
They could cut out anything, hallmarks.
But when jewelry is made by the artisan who made it or the factory, it usually is marked gold and silver.
Correct. Now,
But it can get lost over
it
time.
can get worn down. It can disappear. The other interesting thing with American-made silver by the Indians, a lot of times it's not marked sterling. Okay?
Oh,
But
would
it's
it
marked
be-
with their initials, their
or
name.
Honcho, where
Okay, whatever their name
Yeah.
is. Okay, then they put it on the back. But we also buy tons of turquoise.
that
This
is gorgeous. Look at this thing, you guys. Let's look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That's turquoise. So
Yeah.
this is turquoise. This is Southwestern turquoise.
American
Indian made.
more than likely.
And look at the look at the veining in that turquoise. That is gorgeous.
So
It's very light. It's
yeah,
nice.
it's a great bracelet. Now the other thing you got to take into consideration, there's a lot of turquoise coming in from Iran
Mhm.
and China. It doesn't have nearly the same value.
No, yeah.
Okay, and so we could
Is it a
do
different color, less vein.
totally different. It could be
I know that some
zillion
of the-
colors, the huge difference in value.
Well, that's
Is
true
it
of a
real?
lot of
Is it
things.
real
It's real
turquoise?
turquoise, yes.
Okay.
Because
It's
I
just
know-
a bunch.
But the value is like,
Nothing.
you know,
When we went
not
to the
much.
Amber Museum, we discovered that amber comes in all these colors.
From all
Russian
different
amber's
parts of
one
the world.
color,
Absolutely.
European amber's a color.
But turquoise does too.
Turquoise comes in all kinds of different colors.
Mhm.
What else do we have here for you?
You got these little things. What are these?
th-
I'm going to put this
this-
back in the bag.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This one, well, everybody has cameos or in
Mhm.
white. So this happens to be a gold cameo. And the definition of a cameo is anything that's three-dimensional. It could be coming towards you. If it goes into a flat stone,
Isn't that gorgeous, you guys? Look at that. You must report $10,000 deposit of withdrawal for cash transactions. Maria, she works at a financial institution. Yes.
So you'll get cameos where it comes towards you. It's like a three-dimensional. It could be pictures, people, anything. It could be a flat surface where it goes into the stone. That's called an intaglio.
Intaglio, yeah.
That's a little bit different.
And a cameo can be stone, shell,
Anything.
or plastic.
Or plastic.
It is
It
true.
could be plastic also. This is an interesting one. This we talk about synthetic stones.
Mm-hmm.
So this particular stone, which looks really good, that happens to be a 20-carat emerald.
20 carats, baby.
Now, wow, that's wonderful. If I bought that
20 carats.
from South America, my wholesale cost would be $185,000, which is not going to happen.
No.
Okay, but this is a fantastic synthetic. It's actually still a real emerald.
Okay.
Okay? It was cut from rough.
Mm-hmm.
So how we used to make a sugar, the sugar candy.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
So it's basically done the same way. You use the same chemical.
Compression.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No. Just in the solution on the string.
Okay.
Remember, we used to do that. Okay. So this is done
Oh.
exactly the same thing. This is a 20
Rock
carat.
candy.
Yeah, rock candy. This is about $2,000 in comparison to something that would be equivalent out of the ground, same color
Right.
and quality,
But
$185,000.
explain the timeliness of that in terms of how you got it and when you got it.
Oh,
We're going to go over, you guys. That's fine. No
Okay.
problem. We're good.
Okay, I got this by accident. One of my guys who cuts stones showed me an example. And so the interesting thing is there are, I'm not going to mention the name, but there are companies that verify stones.
Right.
Okay. And some of them are better than others. But the best company in the world, I'm not going to say their name, took this stone and said, we can't tell if this is real or fake.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Okay. And so they went to the guy who locally who made these stones in rough. This has been cut. Said, you can't do that in rough. We're going to take you to court
For doing that.
for doing that because we can't make the distinction.
But diamonds are doing it.
Yes, but this is the
But
first
they
time.
have to be
Yeah.
identified.
But no, they don't.
No, they
They don't?
don't.
No.
So it's so funny because they
No.
actually make them out of the same things ground diamonds are made out of. They make them out of coal, don't they?
No, they use.
I think they use. I thought they did.
No, they use a chemical process, but it's killed the market.
It has killed the market.
So if you're going to buy lab created stones, I
Uh-huh.
would suggest that you get them. They come with a certification.
I wouldn't buy them. Buy ground stones,
Okay,
natural stones.
So that's one. That's
These
But
are
the key to
gorgeous.
this one was that he got one before the law made it to where they had to be
yeah. But before they came to
Oh, I see.
before they came to the legal agreement.
right.
Yes.
So this one was made before they agreed that they would identify these man-made stones in some way.
Correct.
So this is a man-made stone that didn't
Yeah.
get that identification.
So you get show them this. This is American turquoise.
That's American turquoise.
And
What is that?
and let's see.
That purple.
Yeah, that's purple.
What stone is that?
It's a rush. So if you see the little things on both sides, okay, normally a watch would go in there.
Oh, really?
Yes. Okay.
Oh.
So the
I like the stone
So
better.
the little posts that would go in there, you put a watch in there, but nobody was buying them.
No.
So the same guy who cut that emerald for me,
Yeah.
I said, here, I gave him a half a dozen of these. I said, watch, cut me turquoise because nobody's buying them as a watch.
That's purple turquoise?
No, this is like a stone that's actually pretty expensive out of Russia. But
Nice.
isn't
It
it
is.
A watch
great?
band is
Great.
Are you
design.
kidding me? I
Yeah.
love the
Originally, it
color.
was a watch band. Yes.
I see. This is much more universal, not being a watch band. It's absolutely gorgeous. What would something like this cost? Oh,
Oh no,
it's right there.
is there a tag on there? Okay, we would have it marked.
1,200.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that much.
But I
would
mean, it's
come
still,
down.
it's still
And also, this is not Mark
well
Sterling.
worth it.
Not Mark Sterling. It's got the guy's name in it. Who
Oh,
made
but
the
it-
original band? Not
And you
with the
tested
stone.
it. It is sterling.
Correct.
It is. Okay.
So that would be American Indian made.
I really don't think that's a bad price for that because of how gorgeous it is.
Your birthday ain't coming up.
Okay. There's another American.
Look at this thing. And this has his name in it. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
His name is in it on the inside. You can see. But check that out. American turquoise. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? Look at that. They're heavy. I love them.
And then we get all kinds of stuff. This is,
That
I
is
don't- I
so
don't-
beautiful.
I don't know if it's 10 or 14 karat. It might be a blue topaz, little diamonds on the side, but cute little ladies' ring.
Is that a what stone did we say that was?
Maybe blue. I'd have to put it on the machine and test it.
Oh, it just flew out of my
Could
head.
be aquamarine.
Thank you. That's the word I was thinking, not trying to think of.
There's another one, Steve. Here's a diamond cluster. So we do a little bit of everything.
So you can get all this at Babylon Antiques at the Royal Oak Flea Market. And if you see something on here, let us know because we know him, so we can get a hold of him,
Oh yeah, and we'll ship worldwide.
and they'll ship worldwide. I mean, he's got the good stuff, you guys.
Diamonds and emeralds.
Diamonds and emeralds.
Diamonds and
So you don't want to know it's funny. Here, this is a little trivia for you guys. Which is rarer to find? Okay, which is rarer to find? A 1 ounce gold nugget or a 5 carat diamond in the wild?
Oh, you'll never find a 5 carat in the wild.
They said that the gold is actually harder to find.
Really?
Yeah, it said that the 1 ounce gold nugget is harder to
Oh,
find.
1 ounce gold nugget.
Yeah,
Oh,
1
I
ounce
hear the
gold
whole
nugget.
thing. Oh,
Yeah. 1 ounce gold
no,
nugget.
no.
It's harder to find than a 5 carat diamond.
Yeah, I could see.
If you find either of them,
20
my name
carat,
is Jason,
20,
and
20 carat,
that's 20 carat.
20 carat gold. We had it tested. Diamonds, 1800s.
1800s diamonds. Are they? What is that?
European cuts.
What
No,
is it
actually,
they call
mine cuts.
Is it mine
It's
cuts?
mine cuts.
Okay, thank you. That's what I was trying to think. I'm wearing this because it's silver, and it reminds me of silver for the silver shop. So, I mean, all this information on gold. I've learned things. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff. What are we doing?
Yes.
Okay. So, Steve, what else do you have to say about it?
Not too much other than, the things you really need to go out and look is a loop. I mean, you can get one of the little, he said the magnet, but you can get the little acid testing kits, scale. All these are beneficial.
I'm going to tell you that a silver and gold testing kit is a much cheaper buy than a diamond testing kit. Because when I was looking to buy Steve a gift and I bought him the gold and silver testing through Jewelry Supply, I was looking at diamond testers, and those things are crazy expensive.
The main thing for me is just I have to have a loop. I have to have something to magnify. And he's right about some people probably look at it as you're a dealer or you're getting the better of them or you know something they don't know. But I still use my loop religiously. I'd feel like Sherlock Holmes with a big old magnifying glass pulling it out of my pocket every time.
And we will be wrapping it up here in a few minutes. When he comes back, I have one major question to ask him when he comes back. But I'm going to tell you, one of the things that we do, Steve is out all the time looking around. He's out every day. He's out every day buying for the shop, buying for our online shops, buying for anything he can get his hands on. So he has the ability to go out and find gold here and there, right? Plus he knows what he's looking for over the past. How long have you been doing this?
I've been finding gold for 12, 15 years.
I need to get over because they can't see me. Hello.
But the thing of it is after a while, you can just tell. You can look at a whole bowl of gold chains, and you can just tell from the hue and the warmth of the color what's gold and what's not.
Okay, so I have one more question for you before we start.
Yes.
Do you think it's a good idea if somebody has a lot of gold, if they go out and they decide, okay, I need some money, I'm going to sell my gold. Should they do it all at once? Should they do it throughout time? Should they actually give their gold up at this point? Because a lot of people we see the market fluctuating and going as high as it can with the way the world is right now, or the country is right now, with tariffs coming in and people needing to save money, with people losing their jobs, stuff like that. What would you give them for?
I think it comes down to what's your personal needs.
Right.
Okay. If you need X number of dollars
Mhm.
today, so you don't lose the car, you don't lose the house, and you're sitting on something that's an asset that has real value, then sell it. Don't lose other things.
Right.
I believe long term,
Mhm.
the gold will still probably continue to go up just because of world pressure and world
Right.
economic pressure.
In the world economic pressure that we're in right now,
Mhm.
with the forecast that we see with these tariffs rolling in,
Mhm.
do you think it's wise for people to start converting cash to gold?
So now you're asking about selling, and now you're
Yeah,
asking
well,
about
because he
buying.
does both.
Great
You
question.
probably got customers or viewers that
Um,
want to know both.
Do you think it's wise at this point?
But they can come to you either way.
Yeah, of course. Either way, I'd be more than happy to help you. Okay. If you've got expenses,
Yeah,
okay, that you can't handle another way, and you have this asset that
then use
that's
it.
not doing it, then
Mhm.
just use it.
Right.
I think if you want to create a little bit of money,
Yep.
okay, a little extra cash or
Mhm.
whatever, sell a little bit,
At a time.
hold on to it. I think overall, next couple of years, especially the next 4 or a little bit longer, it will have the tendency of going up
Okay.
just because of the economics today.
So if you do you sell bars?
I can get anything.
You can
in
get
the
any
world.
type. Okay. So if you do have extra money that's sitting aside, that's burning a hole in your pocket, and you want to convert that to gold or to silver bars, because we do know somebody who buys them every time they can, then go see you, because you can get them for them
All the time.
You know what I mean? And it's a good investment. Gold is always a good investment.
Well, there's
I mean,
there's
it's
a
like
definition
anything
to
else.
there's a definition to an investment.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy it at one price and hopefully it goes up.
It goes up. Hopefully, it's like high risk stock.
Okay, so there is some, obviously there's some risk.
Would you consider it high risk or medium risk?
In today's world, I'm buying. And,
So medium right now.
And even if you look at the banks worldwide
Mm-hmm.
over the last year, they're buying.
They're buying the
They're
gold.
buying. So they're a little worried about, what's my currency going to be worth? And China in the last year has bought more than they ever have that I'm aware of.
Right.
And it just keeps pushing it up and up and up.
And it's funny because we talk about all these countries buying this gold, and we have how much gold we have in our reserve here in America and stuff like that. But did you know that all the gold in the world can fit inside of a crate that is 22 meters cubed?
And you can take a 1 ounce gold coin, and gold can be
Flatten it out.
flattened out. So you take the 1 ounce and you flatten it out, it would be like, I think the size of one football field.
That's what it said. 1 football field.
Just
If you did it in roping, you can go around the world 11 million times. Some stupid amount.
It's a really an amazing amount.
It is. It's
The other thing I'd heard years ago was that every piece of gold that anybody wears or owns has some Mayan, Egyptian, Incan gold in it, because it's all
most
been
likely.
melded down and reused over the
Absolutely.
decades and millennia.
Absolutely.
That it's all there. It's just
Right.
reused and repurposed.
Yeah,
and
we knew the
reformed.
history. Oh my goodness.
So, anyways, that is some information about gold, you guys. We had a ton of people.
And if they want to do anything in the future, if you want me to
Yeah.
create like a seminar for
Absolutely.
them individually, I'd be thrilled.
You know what? I'm
Do you
going to
have
send that
that?
out.
Do you have that QR code or phone number up on the screen?
What QR code?
I thought he had it.
No, I'm going to put it up after on it. Yeah. So that is a great idea because we could easily get a location and we probably have a huge people to learn gold.
Oh, a lot of people.
Need more people in your gold
They
making
don't
class.
understand it. See,
They don't understand it. And
And
what's this?
and a lot of them are afraid of it because they don't get it, and it's just so.
Right.
What do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? You're afraid to deal with it.
You're afraid to deal with it. That's okay.
And if we do a seminar
Uh-huh.
and anybody wants to learn how to make money doing this,
Mhm.
okay, I put the whole jewelry store right here on this plastic card. Okay, and I don't know if I have it set up. I thought I
It's
did.
it's like my doc card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You put it to your back of the phone.
Yeah, and it will go on there.
And oh, wait,
Oh, it is set up. Look at that.
So all I
Send that to me.
So
Here, let me have it.
So all I did. So I've got multiple things here. Okay, and you can show them that. Just show them that. Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll go back and forth.
Look at this. This is
And that number to contact Harvey is 247-800-9330.
And you're going to list that.
that is cool. I am going to list that.
800-9330.
And then,
I see your card.
yeah, absolutely.
Even if you just have questions, he's a good
And
guy.
then
He'll
yeah, there you go.
he'll answer what he can for you.
That's a doc card.
And
I have
then,
it done.
here's another.
There it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's the other interesting thing. We'll stay the experts. So you don't have to learn all this stuff.
Mhm.
Okay. This is an example, and then I'll redo it. But watch this. Oh, I turned my volume down. But this is an avatar that we'll talk
The
about.
main
the
stone
future.
is turquoise with a flower design. The item is not marked, but it has been acid tested as sterling. Add this item to your collection.
Isn't that
The
cool,
ring is
you
a lady
guys?
size 8.
This is your site.
Yeah, this is stuff that we can do.
This is awesome, you
This is
guys.
his sales site.
Yeah.
And what I'll do is I'll put all this information up for you guys so that way you can access this and shop on his site as well. Because we do not carry gold jewelry here in the store, but we have access through Harvey to get you whatever you want. So We'll
set
have
that-
this
we'll
up
set-
there?
we'll set that. You won't have it today, but you'll send it.
no, well, I'll set it up right after this.
Well,
Oh,
It's
just
really-
your phone
it's-
number, I mean.
yeah, it's really not ready for them yet because
Mm-hmm.
we're going to doing some custom work for you.
Oh, okay,
through
but
you
they
guys.
can still contact you.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that'll be on there. And then we'll let you know when this is up and running.
And I'd love to do some of those.
Oh, absolutely. I have no
I'd
problem
be
doing
happy
those.
to help them.
I can film them and do them.
Yeah.
You know, I have a whole filming crew.
No idea.
Yeah, so that's cool. Harvey, I cannot believe you brought all this. And the knowledge you have is crazy
Well, thank
when it comes to gold and silver. So remember, you can see Harvey every Sunday at the Royal Oak Flea Market. And what is this stuff?
That's the challenge.
This is something
Oh,
Harvey
the
picked up.
chalice. Oh, you guys
over
saw
the
this on the
weekend.
advertisement.
This has a lid. It's still in the process of trying to figure out exactly what it is and when it's from.
I think we figured it out.
Oh, they did. But the coin in the lid is dated
Hold it up for them
1717.
to see. That's the chalice.
That's the chalice.
Mm-hmm. Here, let me see this.
And that's the lid.
And the marks on this one
Hallmark.
The hallmarks, on, this,
on
one
this one
are on the underside. You
are
can see 'em
you
up
screw
there
off the bottom of
on the
it,
top
and
edge.
the hallmarks are under the bottom.
along the threading,
Yeah,
and that's
up top. There you go.
I'm not used to.
That's
it.
okay. It's this thing sticking up.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
There's the hallmarks right there above the threading.
And the owner was hoping, obviously, that this gold coin was gold. We can't find it.
No, I even looked.
So we do believe that it's plated.
It's plated.
Yes, but we
Yeah.
don't know yet because we haven't done a
Sure,
final
what's that?
test. And it ended up being 800 silver.
It is. So
So
European.
we have been able to verify that.
Isn't that beautiful?
And then the piece together.
And this date's from when again?
We don't know yet.
Oh, what doesn't it? The coin was 1717.
We don't know if that's
If that's
valid.
real or
I
not.
can't find the coin.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I can't say that that's
This
from that
coin is
date.
dated 1717.
Yeah, but
Right.
I
But you don't know
can't
for
find
sure.
I
another-
don't know if the coin
don't know if it's
was
real.
from that
Right.
date. But that's kind of one of the unique things about this business. Occasionally, I get a chance to see it, and that's what makes it so much fun.
Something that stumps you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I know that we could talk about this for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, and we are almost an hour and a half in, because it can go on forever. Because I mean, the knowledge and the lack of knowledge that we have, that we, the people just living our days who don't deal in gold like Harvey does, and Steve does sometimes a little bit, but Steve is not a seller. We do not buy gold here. We do not sell gold here, but we get asked all the time where a good place is to go to that they
sell
can
gold.
sell gold or they can buy something.
Or
I know,
silver
isn't it stunning?
flatware sets.
Christy says this is stunning. I would love to have a pair of these sitting up. And it has a lid. It's kind of like an old 50s dress with a pocket.
And you can put really nice wine in
Yes, you can.
it. Good wine.
You can get awfully lushed, on this.
Yes, you can.
But so yeah, let's talk about seminars. I think it'd be a good idea because then educating the public on stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But remember, I do have to emphasize, we do not buy gold here. We do not sell gold here. We brought Harvey in because he is someone we use and have been using and trust implicitly. Thank you, implicitly. That should be our word for the week. And use him because he is all knowledgeable with it and
I'm consistent
and honest. And he is at the Royal Oak Flea Market every Sunday at between, I think, is it still 8 and 3?
8 and 3.
Is it between 8 and 3? And that is located, if you don't know, on 11 Mile in the police department, in the police Royal Oak Police Department's parking lot.
Just off of me.
Actually, I should say they're located in
Yeah.
their parking lot because they were there first.
Yeah. And we're in the very center of the building.
Very center of the building. You'll see them. We got some really cool stuff coming up. Steve and I just found out that we are going up to Charlevoix in July 1st to in the weekend. Well, we're going to be up there the whole weekend
Antiques Roadshow.
for the Antiques Roadshow. Time Warp Live will be there filming. So I'm all excited about that. So my show will be up in Charlevoix filming at the Antiques Roadshow, asking what people got for their stuff or how much it's for stuff. So it's going to be fun. I'm excited about that. We have some other stuff. Remember that you can jump over to YouTube and watch it. It's growing. You guys go over there. I want to get a couple thousand in the next week. We got almost 1,000 last week, so it's climbing. And more information about gold, send us your questions. Harvey's just a phone call away.
Just forward them to me.
Yeah, and I'll just forward them to Harvey. And if you have something to sell, you're going to contact Harvey and if you're looking to buy, you're going to contact Harvey. All right. I will have all that information up for you. Harvey, thank you so much for coming. Thank you.
Really, thanks. Thank you.
And you guys have a good night. I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much. I mean, the amount of people on there, it's crazy.
Thank you.
So you guys have a good night, and I will let you guys go.
Yes, pleasure.
Yes. Now I got to go
Thanks
up
for
here.
tuning in.